Open to me. Who art thou? Whither goest thou? What is thy name?
I am one of you.
Steve, he and his group of friends, all divers, settled in Dahab. Life in the Golden City flowed quietly and slowly, but they desperately needed some excitement. Steve and a friend decided to find it by playing with shadows, having a real adventure, and tasting the flavor of danger. One night at full moon, they brought along small flashlights and decided to descend into the Blue Hole.
Steve one day hopped up to me in the cafe, as he usually did, and said, I'm going to go and dive the Blue Hole tonight. Well, I didn't think much of it. I thought, oh, well, that's great. Go and dive the Blue Hole, you know. It was full moon, and he was telling me how it was going to be fabulous because full moon and, you know, it makes everything look so beautiful. And I was really quite naive at this stage. I didn't really know what was dangerous and what wasn't. And certainly if something was dangerous, I'd just think, wow, that's exciting. But I probably didn't comprehend how dangerous the Blue Hole was, especially for his ability.
At 60 meters, they swam into the arch, and both of them, as they had previously agreed, turned off their flashlights.
He never mentioned that he was going to turn the torches off to me. And I think possibly, had he, then, you know, I would have been a bit more alarmed to it. But this was never mentioned, certainly not in the restaurants. That was ridiculous in my view. The fact that he'd never dived the arch before and was doing it as a night dive, even more ridiculous.
It was pitch black. The light of the full moon was not strong enough to illuminate the dark tunnel. They became tense. And there it was, the abyss, the endless darkness, and the ghosts of the divers who had gone before them. Steve and his friend were next to each other, but they couldn't see in the absolute darkness. The arch was behind them. Finally, Steve's friend turned on his flashlight, and to his horror, discovered that Steve had disappeared. Completely. Nothing stirred, not even air bubbles. There was only the darkness of night. Searching for Steve was useless. It would be easier to find a needle in a haystack. He got out of the water, lamenting Steve's loss. He would be asking himself for a long time, why? Why did I turn off the flashlight? Why couldn't I feel or recognize that I had been left alone? Steve's body was never recovered, and so they attached another memorial to the cliff.
I don't know what drove him to do it. I think the lure of the arch, it is spectacular, it's phenomenal, and it was very much the undertone of Dahab. Everybody was talking about it, but very quietly. It was like nice sort of the arch, the Blue Hole. So it sort of drew you in. You know, you became inquisitive. What is this dive site? And Dahab is the kind of place that you just think, well, I'm immortal. You know, let's go and do it. You know, nothing's going to happen to me.
Intrigued by the deaths of their peers, more and more divers go down to the underwater cave, only to reappear triumphantly, telling the world that they went there and there was nothing frightening about the well. It's true, there is nothing frightening about the well. In Steve's case, two friends just got lost in the dark, and it was hard to read the gauges and hard to understand which way was up.
The first time I did the arch,